we have negative p divided by 3 equals 5. We're going to solve this two different ways. We'll still get the same answer. First, we're going to put our 5, see right here, we have our 5 over 1 to make it a fraction. So this is when you're down to one term on the left, one term on the right of the equal sign. So we're going to cross multiply. So we're going to multiply 1 times negative p equals, make sure to bring down the equal sign, and then 3 times 5. So this would be negative 1p equals 15. We're always solving for a positive 1p, so we need to divide by negative 1, because that would make it positive. Divide this side by negative 1. What we do to the left, we do to the right. So this is positive 1p equals negative 15. And remember that p there is understood to have a coefficient of 1. You don't have to write it, but it's understood to be there. So we get negative 15 as our answer. That is one way. Here is another way. And now this other way you're going to see more often because our numbers are going to start to get complicated. Remember, this coefficient is understood to be a 1 there. Let's go back. We want to get rid of that negative 1/3. We want to make it positive 1p. So what we're going to do is we're going to multiply the same sign, but the reciprocal. We're going to flip that 1/3 to 3 over 1. So if I do that, when I multiply negative times negative gives me a positive, and 3 over 3 is 1, right? So that's just 1p. Now, remember, in algebra, what we do to one side, we have to do the other side. So we multiply this side by negative 3 over 1. We've got to multiply this side by negative 3. We don't have to put it over 1 because the 5 is not a fraction. If the 5 were a fraction, then yeah, I'd go ahead and put it over 1, just so I'd know where to cancel. But it's not. Negative 3 and negative 3 over 1 are the same number. So this gives us negative 15. So we still get the same answer. And this is still, you're dividing, you know how when we had 6w equals 12, we divided by 6? Well, we're still doing that. It's just that when you divide fractions, you change to multiplication. So that's what we did. And then you flip that second fraction. So that's what we did. We flipped it. So we changed to multiplication and we flipped it. And then what you do to one side, you have to do the same to the other side. Now we have some decimals. And notice when they give you decimals, generally they're going to have you have your answer in a decimal, and they're going to tell you what to round to. This says round to the nearest 10,000th place. If they don't tell you to round to something, don't change your problem to decimals. Keep it as a fraction, reduce the fraction. They're telling us to round to the 10,000th place. So when we look at this, we are going to solve for k, and this is negative 85 times k. So the opposite of multiplying is to divide. So we want to divide both sides by negative 85. So that will give us a k on the right side. We know a negative divided by a negative is a positive. You want to use your calculator. Now, there is a calculator on your software. You can click that. It works a little bit different than the calculator that you might have at home. So I'm going to do calculator software and tell you what to put in. If you want to deal with the signs, if maybe you're not quite sure about your signs, then you would put in a negative 1.7, then the divide button, negative 85. And on that calculator, you don't have to put equals. The answer will just show. So the answer shows. And it'll show a 0.02. Now, if you use another calculator, you might have to hit you'd put in 1.7, And then if you want to deal with the signs, you would do plus minus key, then divide button, 85 plus minus key, and then equals. Hitting that plus minus key makes a positive number go negative. You don't have to do that. If you know your rules, then you'll know that should be a positive answer and you can just deal with the numbers. I'll post a video. I have a video about how to use the calculator with signs, and I'll put that on tab 4. I think it's in the resources, but I'll put it on tab 4. So our answer here is 0.02. 0.02. Now you may see it as 0.02, but the software will take just 0.02.